So we're just making our way to child's pose. I've been drinking coffee and bang all day, so if you start to sweat, you're welcome. So let's go ahead and make our way to child's pose. When you get to child's pose, let the hips sink deeper into your heels. Bring your knees mat width apart. I don't want you overextending the hips. I want you truly focusing on just having a slightly more narrow focus here. Reaching your arms forward. And once you get to this position, let the hips settle into your heels. If you feel like your back is super arched, imagine your belly coming through your quads. Right inside your thighs. And just rest your forehead on the mat. Taking some deep breaths here. If you want to find some movement to let the hips open, you're more than welcome to. But ideally, it's about the breath and bringing yourself more into a present place. Maybe exhaling through your mouth. Maybe beginning your Ujjayi breath. Maybe massage now the forehead on the mat, your third eye. Notice if you have tension in your jaw, if maybe your tongue is attached to the roof of your mouth, just release that. And then begin to walk the hands further forward. So you're going to cupcake the fingertips onto the mat. You can see it here. So your palms are lifted. And when you find that lifted position, you notice that the under of your armpit is going to open up a little bit more. Keep sinking the shoulders away from the ears. Then walk your hands to the right side of your mat. So as you walk to the right, you're still able to cupcake your hands here. But imagine the left side of your body is reaching towards the left side of the room, so you're opening up that side body. And then when you're ready, you can place the right hand down. The left hand can come on top of your right hand, keeping your shoulders square to the mat. Opening that side body. 2 more breaths. Last breath. Walking back through center, using just your fingertips alone, and then coming to the left side of your mat. Maybe you then drop the palm onto the floor. Right hand comes on top. Extending your right rib cage to the right side of the room, keeping your shoulders square to the mat. Good. Deep breath in. And exhale as your ribs expand towards the sky. 1 more. Now cupcake your hands again. Walk it back through center. Use your fingertips so you're able to form that grip as you pull yourself forward into a box pose. You maintain this position by your knees underneath your hips, your hands underneath your shoulders. And make sure that your toes are right behind your knees. So they're not touching each other, they're not actually internally rotating the hips, they're just right behind, so in a beautiful long line. Spread the fingers wide so your index finger is facing forward. And catch a neutral spine for me for a moment. There's something to be said for allowing that present moment to sink in, and that present moment is brought to you by your breath. So without this feeling exorbitantly hard, just feel your palms resting on the mat. Notice your shoulders directly over your wrists. Your neck is long but released. Your belly becomes active as you pull it in towards your spine. Now, as we engage in your cat and your cow, I want you to tuck the toes. So you're getting that tiny stretch in the bottom of your feet. So as you inhale, you lower the belly towards the floor. You shine the heart forward like you're shifting your sternum. You're gazing slightly upward. Pull through your shoulders. Now as you exhale, start with the pelvis. Let the pelvis movement happen. You pull the belly in. You're exhaling all your air. Your chin slightly comes to your chest. Your upper spine approaches the ceiling. And again, as you inhale, start with that pelvic region. Move through your spine all the way up to the crown of your head. Your belly is lowering, you're inhaling, you're reaching the sternum forward. And then you exhale all the air starting with the pelvic region. Good. I want you to take 1 more with me. I'm going to open it to self-expression. Inhale, let the belly drop. Pull the chest forward, press through your palms equally, gaze slightly upward. And then exhale, articulating through your pelvic region, lower spine, mid-spine, thoracic spine. And now take a few on your own. Maybe taking some movement side to side, maybe flipping your wrists, but still feeling that activation of the bottom of your foot stretching. But take this time. If you want to take your wrists facing each other, You want to take the wrists facing to the front, so you're stretching your forearms, whatever feels organic and incredible to you. That's kind of where I want you to be. Noticing what happens to your breath as you open up to that expressive movement. Sometimes the breath ceases to exist. Maybe you find some circles one direction and then the other. As you make your way back for a final breath together, untuck the toes, find that box position. Now inhale your right arm high. As you open it up, feel the chest open as you press through your left hand. Exhale, thread it underneath your left armpit and fall to the mat. Let the left arm come forward, gazing towards your right palm, keeping the hips right over your knees. Breathe here. We're opening up that back. We're gonna be strong into your legs today, so I want to give you some love up here. If you're like me and you're shaking because your body's so tight, it's all good. Take one more breath in, and then exhale that out. Bringing your left hand underneath your shoulder to protect it, right? Push up. Inhale the right arm back high. Exhale, place it back onto the mat. Inhale the left arm high. Exhale, thread it underneath. Reaching that right arm forward if you need or if you want. Taking 3 breaths here. Good. Letting that twist happen as you open the back of your body. One more breath. And then exhale. Bring your right hand underneath your right shoulder first. Press into your right palm. Inhale the left arm high. As you exhale, you place it back to the mat. Now walk your hands a little bit further forward. As you go into your chaturanga, into child's pose, bring your toes together. Inhale, lower halfway. Exhale. Press back to child's pose. That twice more. Inhale. Notice your spine already beginning to move. Last time. Inhale halfway. Exhale. Press back. Tuck your toes. Lift the hips. Downward facing dog. As you meet me here, pedal it out if necessary. Find some stillness if you want. Firmly planting both hands, both feet down. Take 3 breaths, exhaling through your mouth. Finding that release and expansion. Inhale. Good. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Now shorten your dog by bringing your feet about 6 inches in. Maybe your heels then come to the mat. Maybe they don't. Don't stress about it. Take your right hand. Grab your left calf. And gaze underneath your left armpit. Now firmly plant that left hand down, right? Breathing here, squaring off the hips, pulling that left hip back, last breath, and then gently releasing, down dog twist, opposite side, left hand, right calf, looking underneath your right armpit, squaring off the hips, firmly pressing into your right hand, last breath, and then release, coming back to that downward facing dog. Come high onto the balls of your feet. Begin to walk your feet all the way to your hands. One step at a time. Ragdoll when you get there. Hands cross into the creases of your arms. Or maybe you grab opposite elbows, but have some buoyancy in your knees. Rock your head no and yes. And if you want that sway side to side, let your whole spine move. It's not just your arms, so it's not just this. Let your whole spine feel mobile. Good. Keep this for 3. Keep this for 2. And gently release the palms back to your mat. I want you to tiptoe your feet back to that plank pose. So when you're in your plank, you're holding it. Full deep breaths. Now, drive the right knee like you're going to go to a box pose. So you're right here. Then take your left knee to the same place. So now you're in your bear. You're pulling the belly in. You're activating that core strength, pushing the floor away. You find a leg press alternating, starting on the left side. So you take your left leg back, square off your hips. Knee is still floating. Bring it right back. Good. 10. Right leg. 9. 8. 7. Beautiful. 6. Kick the heel back. 5, 4, great for shoulders. 3, great for your core strength. 2, last one. Bring it back to your bear, deep breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. I want you to take 3 breaths here, exhaling through your mouth, knowing that your body should be warmer at this point. Sigh it out through your mouth as big and as open as you want. Good. Exhaling, feeling a sense of expansion, positivity on this awesome Sunday. And then when you're ready, begin to walk your feet all the way back up to your hands. So as you walk them back up, you catch that ragdoll one more time. Then you release the hands back to your mat. Try when you do release your hands, you're not gazing towards the floor. Gaze towards your thighs. And then slowly begin to roll up one vertebra at a time. So good. Meeting me in Namaste. Arms by your side. If your eyes are open, begin to close them. And if your feet are apart, begin to heel toe them together. So your toes are touching. Your heels are slightly apart. And just be as present as you can for a moment. You've gifted yourself these 45 minutes to breathe, to be. It's a workout, it's a meditation. It is what you want it to be. But you have to know in this present moment, what is it that you want? You feel the palms opening towards the front. You feel that sensation of acceptance, receiving. You're receiving the things that you want. And you have to be able to ask yourself those really personal questions of what do I really want? What are my deepest desires? What is the whole essence of me? As we move through your sun A and B, think of those things. We move with breath. Inhale, reach your arms high, gaze towards your palms. Exhale, forward fold all the way down to your mat. Inhale, lengthen the entire spine. Exhale, plant the hands down, step it back into your plank. Lower through your chaturanga. Inhale to your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Trusting the breath. Good. Exhaling all your air. High into the balls of your feet. Bend your knees. Gaze between your palms. Step or jump all the way up. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Sweep your arms all the way overhead. Palms to touch. Exhale, hands back to heart. Inhale together. Sigh it out. Inhale, reaching your arms back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands down, step it back into your plank, lowering through your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. You know the 3 breaths. Maybe you put that desire, that essence into each breath. Last one. Exhaling all your air. Bend your knees. High in the balls of your feet. Gaze forward. Step or jump forward. Inhale to lengthen as you arrive. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Palms to touch. Exhale, hands back to heart. 1 breath in. Cleansing, release. Inhaling back all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, last one. Step or jump it back. Lowering through your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. 3 intentional breaths here, Micah. Good. Danica, good breath. Awesome, Rachel. Last one. High on the balls of your feet, bend your knees, step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhaling as you arrive. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, fierce posture. As you do so, sit deep into that chair. Sit your hips back, lengthen the spine, pinky fingers spiral in. They're spiraling in towards the midline of your body. As you activate the front of your body, sit your hips 1 inch lower and activate your inner thighs, squeezing them together as tight as you can. Good. Take a breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump it back. Lower through your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhaling the right leg high. Now, pay attention, drawing the knee all the way up into your chest. Push the floor away. Step it through. Warrior one. Now, it's your first time here. Let's take a moment. Make sure that your hips are square. Deepen the bend in the right knee. It's your first time for everything, right? This is your first time here. Feel the energy shift forward and maybe step that left foot out if you need to, like on train tracks, versus on one tightrope line. Inhale, exhale. Plant the hands down. Step it back. Lower through your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg high, remember? Pull the knee in, arch the spine, step it through. Warrior one, your first time here now. Shift the right hip forward, pull the left hip back, square the shoulders over the hips. Take an inhale, strengthen your back leg. Exhale, plant the hands down, step it back. Lower through your chaturanga, inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. High on the balls of your feet, bend your knees, step it up. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, fierce posture. As you find this posture, bring your hands to your heart. Pull the belly in, feel the back of your neck super long, but you're not tucking your chin. It's just in that neutral spinal flexion. Spinal extension. Take a big inhale. Exhale, twist to your right. As you draw that left elbow outside your right thigh, really sink the hips a little bit lower and shine with the heart. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, twist to your left. Open the right elbow outside your left thigh. Good. Inhaling back through center. Sit 1 inch lower, huge breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. As you step back, you can always meet in a downward facing dog or move through your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg high, articulate the spine, draw the knee into your chest, step it through. Warrior one, inhaling. Exhale, plant the hands down, step it back, lower through. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, left leg high. Articulate, push the floor away, step it up. Warrior one. Exhale, plant the hands down, step it back. Chaturanga, or up, or straight to downward facing dog. I want you to take 3 breaths here. Take the breaths. So you're meeting that halfway mark, right? Opening the mouth on your exhale. Really great. Last one. High on the balls of your feet. Bend your knees. Step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhaling when you arrive. Exhale, forward fold. Now Utkatasana, fierce posture. Here we are again, right? Bring your hands to prayer. This time opposite direction. Inhale. Exhale, twist left. So take your right elbow outside your left thigh. Feel the twist as you exhale, twist deeper. Now inhale, back through center. Exhale, twist to your right. Noticing the difference as you feel warmer. Inhale, back through center, hands at heart. Reach the arms high now as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold deeper and stay. Stay in this forward fold for a moment. Feel your hands a little further in front of you so your weight can be into the balls of your feet. And you'll notice that then your hips really stack over your heels. Ideally, that's what you want. Opening the hamstrings. Now bend the knees slightly, rolling up one vertebra at a time. Coming back to that Namaste place, that equal standing posture. And you're noticing the warmth of your body change. You're noticing that the flexibility increases over time because your body is prepared to work. Welcome in that sensation of work. As we move through your flow, it's just one long flow we do on both sides. We'll get some work on the floor post the flow. But just breathe into it. Breathe into a sense of ease as you practice. There's no pressure. There's no expectation. There's just breath. Inhale, reach your arms high. Gaze towards your palms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant the hands down. Now hold your plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale the right leg high. Articulate the drawing the knee forward into your chest. Push the floor away. Step it through. Spiral that back leg back. Warrior one. Now, you've been here before. See if you can get a little bit deeper. Really fire up that back leg. Engage your left glute. Take a huge breath in. Open mouth as you exhale, standing splits. Ground through your right foot. And notice if that left hip wants to open, close it off. Really feel the outer edge of the right leg grounding and opening. Take a breath. Step into a low lunge, floating. Now ground through your left hand. Now if you need a block, you can always grab one. It just sometimes helps lengthen your limbs. Just assists you in working a little bit deeper. Press firmly on that left hand. Twist. Open up the right arm for the ceiling. Easy twist here. Gazing towards your right palm as you take it to horizon lunge. Shifting. Right back to that low lunge. Plant the hands down. Now three-legged dog. Lift the right leg high. And then shift it straight back in. Warrior two. As you open up, the hips open, the arms are wide, long, lean, pulling this up and in. Imagine your inner thighs trying to touch each other as you strengthen both legs. Inhale to fly your warrior. Now pivot your right toes towards the left. Prasavarita, wide-legged forward fold. Now I want you to hang out here for a moment. If you want to find that side-to-side movement like you noticed me doing, go for it. If you want to take your hands forward, notice there are options there. You can take it back. Don't worry about your inversions quite yet. Just allow this to be an opening of the hamstrings, really opening up the inner thighs, and trust the process here. At some point, I do want you to find some stillness here. So take 3 more breaths. Last one. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Begin to walk yourself back to the front for that gentle runner's twist. Opening, you've been here before. Now pull the belly in, ground through your left hand. Side plank with that right leg lifted. Flex the toes. Really feel the engagement here. Squeezing the outer obliques to lift the hips higher. Bring yourself to a plank. Lower the right foot down. Good. Now that you're strong in both your hands, lift the right foot for that 3-legged plank. Inhale to a 3-legged dog. Now for a moment, open the hip, bend the knee. Find some hip circles for a moment. One direction, and the opposite direction. Now close the hips off. Knee comes to your nose 3 times. Draw it in, exhaling. Inhale to your 3-legged dog. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale to your 3-legged dog. Last time, draw it into your nose. Now, root through your right hand. Fallen angel with a lifted leg. Extend the right leg out. Really feel it lifted off the floor. Connect through your obliques and the front core. Now come right back from whence you came. Right knee up into your chest. And then step it through. Anjaneyasana, high lunge. Really great. Stay here for a moment and fire up that back leg. If your heel is way behind your toes, see if you can make it stacked right on top. Bring your hands to prayer. Exhaling, twisting open over that right leg. So you're finding that Anjaneyasana twist. Now if you're here and you want to open up the arms, be my guest. Let the twist be its main focus as your eyes gaze towards your right hand. And then open up to a warrior 2. Now I want you to be in this warrior 2 for a few moments. So if it becomes super uncomfortable, excellent. Stay in that warrior 2, deepening the bend in that right knee. So good. Take a breath. As you begin to feel like it's shaking here, that's perfectly normal. It's just your body having a reaction to the stress you're putting on it. Utilize the breath to relieve that stress. Inhale to reverse as we move into your triangle. Straighten your front leg. Exhale, reach your right arm as far forward as you can. And then if you're like me and you want to use a block, reach the arm forward, then place it inside your right leg. Lift the left arm high. Really engage this whole lower half. And bring pressure into that right hand as you open up the heart. Find a sense of relaxation as you ground here. Now squeeze your quads, pull them up into your pelvic region. As you inhale to reverse the triangle, exhale, come to a low lunge. Low lunge with both hands on the mat. And then step your right foot back to your plank. And we've seen this plank a lot today, so make sure that your shoulders are over your wrists. Come down to your elbows. As you have this forearm plank, I would like you to move into dolphin. If you have a block, use it. Frame the block, the long edge with both of your hands. Bring the elbows underneath your shoulders and begin to walk your toes in for dolphin pose. Now squeeze the elbows in with the engagement of your chest. Pull the lower belly up and in. Now, if you're here and you want to try pincha or shoulder stand or headstand, not shoulder stand, or headstand, go for it. Take the time to do it. You have a moment. Breathe into this. If you're in dolphin and you're like, I gotta get out of this, walk your hands back. Totally fine. Back to your plank. Very good. Excellent. Now, if you're all the way up in pincha, come down easily. You'll make your way back to that forearm plank, and then come back to a child's pose for a moment. Excellent work, everyone. You catch that child's pose, really reach the arms forward, pulling that lower belly in until you allow it to fall down to the earth. You're here, hands reach forward, letting the hips sink closer to the heels. Take 3 or 4 breaths. So good, Rachel. Dolphin is going to be your intro to pincha, and if you're not sure what pincha is, I can show you on the wall next time, or we can set up a one-on-one. But essentially, it's a forearm balance. As we move into your second side, moving with grace and style, you know what to expect. Your body kind of knows what to expect. So taking yourself to that downward facing dog. Lifting the hips back up, pushing to the floor. As the hips lift, the heels gently descend. But that's not the main focus. It's feeling the belly pull up and in. Inhaling the left leg high. Articulate the spine. Lift the knee up into your chest. Pushing the floor away. Step it through. Warrior one. So good. Shift the right hip forward. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Now try to tuck the pelvis underneath you so you really feel that stretch on that right hip flexor. Take a big inhale. Exhale, standing split. Lift the right leg high. Square off the hips. So if you feel that stretch in the outer side of that left leg, that's fantastic. It might feel super intense. Flex the right toes towards the floor. Engage your right glute. Then step it back to a low lunge. As you get to this low lunge, plant the right hand down. Gentle runner's twist. Gaze towards your left palm. You might notice one side feels deeper than the other. It's understandable that one side might feel more flexible or more simple, but the intention always stays the same, right? Horizon lunge, reach the left arm, really press through your right hand. Come right back to that low lunge here. Three-legged dog, lift the left leg high. Feel the hip open, bend the knee. Find some hip circles, one direction. And then the opposite. To eventually inhale to lengthen, draw the knee in, step it through. Warrior two. Now it's your first time here, really on this side. So take the time. Very, very good. Good, Micah. As you open that up, let's fly. Pivot your left toes towards the other side of the room. Exhale, Prasarita, wide-legged, forward fold. Now again, we got the inversions down. Let this just be a moment where you release the neck and soften as you fold forward. Release the tension or pressure of needing to go upside down. You are upside down, so trust that. As you're in that forward fold, if you want to find some movement, great. If not, don't worry. Find the stillness in this posture. And then take your hands back underneath your shoulders. Walk yourself to the top of the mat, giving yourself that runner's twist again. But this time, you crown through your right hand. You find your side plank. That left leg lifts. So lift the hips. Good. Deep breath. Push the right hand firmer. You find your plank pose. Left hand comes down, left foot comes down. Three-legged plank. Engage the left glute. Exhale, downward facing dog, three-legged dog. Now 3 times your knee comes to your nose. Articulate. As you exhale, shift forward. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, shift forward. Inhale, three-legged dog. Last time, draw it into your chest. Really feel your shoulders pushing away. Fall in triangle, that lifted leg. Keep the left leg lifted. Deep breath. Exhale, drop back into your nose. Really contract the abdominals. Step it through. Anjaneyasana, high lunge. So good. You know the twist is coming, so if you want to bring your hands to prayer, exhale, twisting over your left thigh. Keep your ankle right over the toes. Twisting from your upper back and your mid back. Pressing the palms together, bringing them to heart center is ideal as you press, firmly twisting. You're gonna open the arms, you know it's there. So good. And then gently make your way to a warrior two. Find a huge exhale, let it out. Inhale to reverse, straighten the front leg, triangle pose. Reach your left arm as far forward as you can. And then set that left hand down. If you have a block, use it. Find the extension of your body. Pull the lower belly in, gaze towards your right palm. Feel the obliques lengthening and strengthening in this moment. Your left side body is as long as your right. And then inhale to reverse. Gaze towards your left palm. Exhale to that low lunge. Preparing that block if you want. A little lunge takes you to a plank. Takes you down to a forearm plank. Keeping your hips as stable as you can. And then walking your toes forward. Finding that dolphin pose. If you're working on headstand, you want to interlace your fingers. Take it to the crown of your head. Bring your shoulders right over your elbows. And walk in as close as you can first. Now push your forearms into the floor. And then begin to lift one leg off at a time. Now don't forget your shoulders pressing away from your ears. Inner thighs squeezing together. And gracefully, if you want and ready, coming out of that. If you want pincher, go for it. And then let yourself come back to child's pose. Meeting me there. Letting the breath transform. And remember that there is no comparison. You might be alone in your room right now, but you might have that sensation of, well, he's there, or I really wish I was there, or I want to achieve this. It takes time, it takes energy, and it takes practice. And I want you to gift yourself that patience here. When you're ready, come back to a downward facing dog, lifting the hips. Let's really focus on the hips again as we've strengthened the legs so much. Inhale the right leg high. Take it to your pigeon. Right knee, right wrist. Now, but this time, I want you to keep your left toes tucked. I want you to square your hips off, and I want you to press back. What the toes are going to be doing is assisting on keeping your hips square, because it's so easy to open up the hip when the toes are untucked. So leave the toes tucked. Press up into this posture, and let it feel extremely active with opening up that right side of your right leg, the outer edge. And just be here. And if it does feel good to come forward with the intention that you're still opening up that side body. If you feel like you're just sinking in, you're not feeling anything, maybe take that left knee off the mat and then be here. But be here for 30 seconds. Just breathe into it. You're already 10 seconds in, so I promise you can do it. Good, 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now hands come back underneath your shoulders. Your left toes are already tucked, so round through them, right? Lift your right leg all the way to the sky. Shake it out if you need to. And then bring it right back to a downward facing dog. So good. Inhaling the left leg high. Draw the knee. Same wrist. And then find that half pigeon with your toes tucked to keep your hips square. Again, if it feels delicious to deepen and come closer to the floor, great, do it. I want this to be an option for you. I don't want you to feel pressure to do one way or the other, but I do need that outer edge of your left leg to feel that stretch. Beautiful. Keep the movement, the breath. Good, 10 more seconds. Really nice work. 5, 4, 3, 2, hands come under your shoulders, tuck the right toes, lift the left leg all the way up towards the ceiling, shake it out, whatever that feels best to you, and then place it right back onto the mat. High on the balls of your feet, bend your knees, just float forward on as you cross your ankles, down to your glutes, and shift to the center of your mat. As you shift to the center of your mat, let's go into some forward folds for a moment. Before we get into your hips and your back bends, I want you to find that when you have that flexion and extension of your spine, it's important to do both. So what we're going to find is this forward movement first. Pull the flesh away from your sits bones, reach the arms high. As you exhale, forward fold. Grab the peace fingers with the big toes. Inhale to lengthen here. And exhale, draw your elbows out towards the side of the room. And if your knees need to bend a little bit, totally all right. Just be here, activating the breath, using your upper body to pull Relaxing the neck. Did so great today. Slowly begin to let that go. Now bring the soles of your feet together. So as they're together, you're finding that Konasana posture. But I want the feet to be a little further away from your pelvis so they're not pulling all the way in. Deep breath in, reach the arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Now, if you want to grab your feet, totally fine. If you want to grab underneath so you feel that leverage to really lift the heart space forward and down, awesome. Otherwise, I just want you to let gravity take this and let the hips relax for a moment. Slowly begin to come all the way up, one vertebra at a time. Use your hands outside your knees, bring them into the center, extend your legs back out, and then slowly roll all the way onto your spine. As you get to your spine, pull the pelvis underneath you with the heels towards your glutes. Press the hands into the floor. Now, shimmy your shoulders underneath you. So you already feel like your upper back is pressing down and in. Now, peel the lower spine off the mat to lift into your easy bridge pose. Opening the hips, noticing that the hips are in line with the knees. You're pushing into the floor. Your neck is relaxed. It's not pressing into the floor. Your chin is slightly tucked, but still away and off the chest. You're engaging your glutes to lift the hips. Take an inhale. And slowly come back down. Now releasing the lower spine. Windshield wiper your knees right and left. Good. Coming back to that simple posture here. I want you to bring your legs up the wall. And I just want you to be here. And if you have a block and you want to place it underneath your sacrum, that's fantastic. As you place it here, really feel the small of your back right at the top of the block, lifting the heels so they're right over your hips. And just let this be that inversion that we all need desperately. Just letting that blood flow come back to the heart, regenerate. If you don't have a block, don't stress about it. You can take your legs at the wall too, like the physical wall. Be for 30 more seconds. And in that 30 seconds, if you want to take shoulder stand, go for it. About 10 more seconds. Now I want you to bend the right knee first. As you bend the right knee, let the heel come to your glute. Bending the left knee. Bringing it down slowly. Your soles of your feet come all the way to the mat. And if you have the block underneath you, just gently take it out. Let your spine come back to the mat. And bring your knees into your chest. Gentle rock side to side before we truly get into your spinal twist. Taking your knees to your left. Taking your arms like a goalpost. Then gazing to your right as your knees go to your left. Ideally, we'd love our right shoulder to be on the mat. Inhaling the knees back through center. Taking them off to the right. Gazing towards your left elbow. And coming back through center on the inhale. Giving yourself one big, really compressed hug. Inhaling as you exhale. release yourself to Shavasana. Take your feet mat width apart, heels opening, toes opening, hands by your side in that receiving posture, much like Savasthitihi, that eagle standing. Think of the entire body sinking deeper into the mat. As you're here, I'd like to invite you to be here for at least a minute with me. And if you're living in silence right now, then let this be a meditative state as you focus on your breath. If you're listening to music, how does that music make you feel? Either way, silence or music, how is the breath transpiring inside you? Gentle next breath in, you breathe in patience. You sigh out through your mouth gently. Your next inhale takes your long body stretch, reaching the arms all the way overhead, legs towards the front of the room. Drawing your knees into your chest, slowly making your way to a fetal position, onto one side or the other. And then coming to a seated position, cross-legged facing me with your eyes closed. Reminding that this is the time that you get to honor yourself. This is that time where everything is about you. Your ability, your gracefulness, your peace. Bring your hands to heart. Take that inner peace and your light as you breathe in. Your thumbs come to your third eye. Acknowledging that love and light and peace inside of you, so that way we may be able to honor that in others as we bow and say, Namaste.